Ladies and gents, boys and girls, happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Hope you're all doing well. Chris Phillips here, the Daily Crow of the Spurs Up Show. As always, appreciate you guys tuning in. A packed show here today, taking your questions, your comments, and your calls as well. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Guys, if you're in the Big Cock Club Discord as well, head over to the TDC Questions channel to be sure that your questions are answered today here on this Wednesday. Again, folks, we got a lot to get into here on a Wednesday, and I appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. I see Eric Reese on Twitch. Shout out to my Twitch people. Thank you so much, Eric, for tuning in on Twitch. Josh Reichley, Sean O'Brien, Cody Gaskins, Todd Smith, Wesley Travie, Lindsey Hagler, Jesse Jacobs, David Garrett, Tyler Knoll. The whole gang is here. Again, folks, thank you all so much for tuning in. We've got a lot to get into here on a Wednesday, folks. Again, today's podcast dropping this morning, episode 492, talking Shane Beamer's presser. Yesterday, of course, also it's Wednesday, so we're talking gambling, best bet for South Carolina, East Carolina, as well as SEC gambling picks for week 2 as I look to stay hot, guys. A 12-2 start to the SEC gambling season. You really couldn't have asked for a better start for us, and we're going to look to stay hot yet again with a great slate of games this weekend. Guys, before we get into everything, I do want to tell you about our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm, because the Daily Crow is presented to you by our friends at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Guys, they're young but experienced and aggressive attorneys. They're both former prosecutors who used to represent insurance companies but switching sides. They both worked at larger law firms where they've represented hundreds of clients at a time. And guys, they both left to start their own law firm because they understand you're not just a line item, you're not just a number, you're a real human being, and you should be treated as such. They're a small boutique law firm that treats their clients like family. Guys, they're going to know who you are and treat you like a client and not a number. They handle injury cases that arise from car accidents and work accidents. Guys, do not try to take on the insurance company yourself. You've been involved in any type of accident, no matter what it is. The last thing you should be dealing with is paperwork and dealing with the insurance company. Let the experts over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm handle it for you, guys. They use the latest technology to make representation efficient yet effective. Again, let them take care of everything for you. You don't even pay them unless they recover money for you. Rami's in Columbia, Curtis is in Charleston. They handle cases statewide. They also offer virtual or in-person consultations at no charge. Guys, give them a call today in Columbia, 803-973-0304, or in their Somerville location, 843-388-3368. Or, of course, guys, your one-stop shop, their website, dsinjurylaw.com. That is dsinjurylaw.com for more information. Again, guys, our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Be sure to check them out and tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. All right, 843-790-3377. Guys, that's 843-790-3377. You see the whiteboard right here behind us, by the way, guys. And right after the Daily Crow today, so today's schedule, of course, it's a Wednesday. It's a little bit hectic. Right after the Daily Crow, we will be recording tomorrow's show, which is, of course, our game preview show where I'll break down ECU a little bit, or a lot, really. Top storylines, key matchups, keys to the game, all that good stuff. And was thinking of keys to the game and the top storylines, of course, and what Shane Beamer said yesterday, and that Kevin Harris is going to be 110%. He's going to be good to go. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, we're not doing the simulations anymore. We're not doing the streaming, the NCAA stuff. And I was like, I haven't said this in so long. When in doubt, ride the bus, baby. So that's why we have it up there on the whiteboard. But, again, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. I see Phil. Also, like I said, guys, if you're in the TDC Questions channel, if you're in the Big Cock Club Discord, I should say, head over to the TDC Questions channel to be sure that your questions are answered. Gamecock 68 was in that thing early this morning at 10:49 a.m. Gamecock 68 said, "What's up, Big Cock Club? Food for thought. The ECU Pirates are 4-19 against SEC opponents. All 4 of their wins were against South Carolina. We definitely need to bring our A game on Saturday." Yeah, South Carolina actually all-time, guys, 14-5 against ECU, and the Gamecocks are currently on a 4-game winning streak. I think the last time, let's see, I can tell you guys right now, the last time ECU beat South Carolina was the 1999 season, Lou Holtz's first season. ECU came into Columbia and took down the Gamecocks 21-3. Get this, guys. The last time South Carolina went to Greenville and played ECU, 1997, Brad Scott was the head coach, and the Gamecocks shut out the Pirates in a big 26-0 win at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. So it was a successful trip the last time they were there, and you hope the Gamecocks can duplicate that. Let's take a look. Let's see. Yes, so South Carolina has lost in Greenville before. 1991. Sparky Woods took the Gamecocks to Greenville and lost 31-20 to ECU. But it's been a long time. It's been 30 years since the Gamecocks lost to East Carolina at their place. So hopefully that streak will continue. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Phil, also in the TDC Questions channel, the Big Cock Club Discord, says, daily weather for New Hampshire, 79 degrees and partly cloudy. Can't wait to hear our fans' delusional predictions for the ECU game. He says he's eating a burrito, hummus, and pretzel chips today for everyone that's dying to know. Phil also says, I'd much rather play Western Carolina this week. It'll be a lot less stressful. For sure. Guys, we have a lot to get into here on a Wednesday, guys. Like I said, we're going for 2 hours, noon to 2, the Daily Crow, Monday through Friday. You guys know the drill. Also, we are live tonight at Tin Roof, 5 to 7. Very, very excited for that. But I want to start on a little bit of a different note. Again, I'm going to get into your questions. We're going to get into this ECU game, really start breaking it down, start talking keys, start talking key matchups, storylines, all that good stuff. Everything you need to know about East Carolina, and, of course, taking your questions, comments, and your calls. But I wanted to start on a little bit of a different note today and say thank you to you all, which I guess is not something that is not normal. But I want to say thank you to you all. I have not posted the graphic yet, but I believe in celebrating the small victories, whether it be for your football team, in your personal life, in your business, at your job, whatever it is, the small victories, right? Life is really, really hard. So when you get those small victories, don't just push them to the side. Don't appreciate them. Celebrate all victories, big and small. I truly believe that, right? And I want to celebrate a victory with you all right now, right here, because, again, I guess none of you would know this except a couple of people that I texted last night. And if you're in the Big Cock Club, you already saw this. We've got a graphic that's going to be going out in a little bit here. But was setting the podcast up last night, or, whatever, putting it in the back end, setting it up as pending, whatever you want to call it, getting it ready for today. And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't look at analytics as much as you probably think someone like me does. I think early on that's something you do a lot, because the growth you see, even if it's just gradual, but the growth you see is something that really motivates you and keeps you going, and you're seeing the growth. And I mean, I guess you could say I'm blessed enough and fortunate enough I've gotten to the point where I still take notice of it, but I really just lock in and focus on making as much quality content as we possibly can. I'm like, you know what? The numbers are just going to take care of themselves. As long as we keep busting our asses and doing what we need to do and keep leading with service and gratitude and putting positive energy and positive momentum out there in the universe, the numbers are going to take care of themselves, right? Certainly you want to see growth, but they're going to take care of themselves. But was setting up the podcast for today and stumbled across the analytics. And very happy and proud to say, to get to the point, guys, that we have hit 500,000 all-time podcast downloads as of last night for the Spurs Up Show. So we have hit 500,000 all-time downloads. So I want to say thank you to you all. Anyone who's taken 5 seconds to tune into the podcast at any point, show love, show support, share the show, whatever it might be. But anyone who's taken time to show love and support and tune into the podcast, download the podcast, I mean, 500,000 is a pretty wild number. I think if you would have told me we actually started the podcast in April 2017. I've never been someone to put a cap on the possibilities of what it is that we're doing. But if you would have told me in April 2017 that we would have hit 500,000, 500,000 downloads, I would have probably been like, I don't know if we'll ever get quite that far. I mean, I really, guys, I'm not kidding you. I remember in the beginning seeing like 10 people tune in, literally like 10, 15. I mean, when we hit 100 downloads on a show, that was like a huge deal. And so to look at the numbers and, see that number, 500,000 downloads all time. I mean, it's like overwhelming almost. It's mind blowing. It's crazy. I mean, that is a lot. That is a big number. That is not 500,000 is not, that's a huge number. So I just want to say thank you to you all. Definitely, it's incredible. Just a testament to the love and support. Like I said, you guys show tuning in day after day after day, week after week after week. You guys continue to show love and support and tune into the podcast. And obviously the podcast, we make a lot of content. And that's been the beauty of TSUS as we've grown, I feel, outside of, we're not just a podcast, right? Like we do a lot of different things, live streams, live events, merch, social media, articles, vlogs. We do a lot of different stuff, but there's no secret the podcast is like the pillar content, right? It's the foundation of everything we do. And so to hit a number like that, I mean, it's beyond words, man. 500,000 is a lot. So again, I wanted to share that all with you. There will be a graphic out on social media a little bit later today, really thanking everyone for anyone who's ever, like I said, even if you just listen to one episode, I truly do appreciate it. It's incredible. But again, all right, we can go ahead and get into everything. Like I said, I just wanted to put that out there and celebrate that with you all, because whenever the business and we have successes, you all have successes. It's not just a me thing. It's all of us. It's all of us. I had Chris Marler a couple of weeks ago when I was on his podcast, College Football Uncensored, which, by the way, we had a blast. I was with Steven Garcia. You guys probably remember. But he asked me, why do you keep saying we? He's like, why do you keep saying we? Like, it's obviously you. You're the one making all the content. You're the one doing the podcast. Like, why do you always say we? And I'm like, and I don't care how this sounds, if it sounds corny, like whatever, but I say we because I couldn't do it alone. I couldn't. Just me doing a podcast, if there was no one there to support and the people that are in my circle, my family, my very, very close friends, those of you that I have met and interacted with and shook your hand or had conversations with via social media, those of you who have showed your support, it is we. We are all in this together. It is not me, it is we. And that's just the way I look at it. That's the way I've always viewed it. Without the people that are in my support system, my support circle, without the people that take the time to consume and listen to the show, this is all for naught. So it is we. It's a group thing. You guys know, I think, at this point, but definitely I want you to know if you don't. I love celebrating these victories and these successes with you all because we all did it. So again, thank you all so much, man. It's incredible. 500,000 downloads. I mean, it's been a very, very, very long journey, and cheers to the next 500,000. I can't wait till we hit 1 million. But anyways, all right, let's go ahead and dive into it. I'm going to take a sip of coffee, and then we'll get rolling. It's good. Good cup of Joe. Somebody gifted me this. It's McDonald's coffee. Their coffee's not bad. Like the actual box or like the whatever it is, you know what I mean? Like the tub of it, it's actually pretty good. They were like, did you know McDonald's is actually gourmet coffee? I said, I did not know that. Had no idea. I'm not an expert in McDonald's coffee. Again, all right, we can talk South Carolina, ECU, gambling, whatever you guys want to get into. The question I have for you all, because I found myself at a bit of a challenge this morning in regards to, because like I said, I've been prepping for the show that we're going to record today that'll drop tomorrow, which is our full breakdown of ECU, key matchups, keys to the game, top storylines, all that good stuff. And I found myself in the keys to the game, right? I feel like there are many things that South Carolina needs to do successfully on Saturday to win the football game. Some that are very, very simple, and some that you can dive kind of the matchup, beyond the matchup, right? Like you can go really deep. I'm just curious to hear from you guys. What are if you had to list it to 2 to 3, what are your keys to victory for South Carolina on Saturday? Like, what does South Carolina have to do to get this win? Again, I don't care if you think South Carolina is going to win 42-0 or if you think it's going to be a 21-20 game. What are the keys to victory for South Carolina this weekend? This is what I have right now. I don't want to spoil the podcast for tomorrow, but the things that come to the top of my mind are this. You got to be improved on the offensive line. I think forcing turnovers and being opportunistic. I think you've got to contain Holton Ahlers. Also handling adversity, right? Handling the crowd, handling a packed and rowdy atmosphere at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. Those type of things stand out to me. Like I said, not to spoil tomorrow's podcast, but I was sitting there thinking, I was like, man, I feel like I could list like 6 or 7 keys of the game. We always list 3. I'm like, I could list 6 or 7 keys, like things that need to happen. Because again, even with the big win over EIU last week, even with, winning 46-0 and a lot of great individual successes with our players on the field, I feel like we still have a lot of questions. There's still a lot of question marks that I need answered. You know what I mean? So I'm curious to hear from you guys. What are the top what are the top, your keys to the game, keys to victory for Saturday's game at ECU? Sorry, guys, I was looking at Twitter. My friend Brad Crawford tweeting, and if you followed along this morning, we posted this on Twitter as well, but Brad says South Carolina now a 3-point favorite over ECU at the MGM Grand. The time to jump on the Gamecocks was +4 on Sunday. What a wild swing in the line, and it really truly has been insane, guys. Again, we talked about that a ton on the podcast today. We've talked about that a ton on the podcast today in regards to the betting line, the over-under, the spread, if you will. Of course, as you guys probably know, Gamecocks opened as a 2-point favorite. Within minutes, within the hour, that swung all the way to ECU as a 4-point favorite. Then it settled down. Yesterday, I saw it ECU -2, then saw it ECU -1. I wake up today, and the Gamecocks are a 2-point favorite, and now Brad Crawford is saying they are a 3-point favorite. So, who knows? Really, who knows? Because, one of my, and I was told this by a buddy of mine, his dad used to gamble, or I'm sure he probably does still, gamble on sports for a living. So when somebody does it for a living and they make a living off of it, you're going to take their word. He said, Chris, a rule of thumb in gambling, when a line comes out, right, when a line comes out similar to what happened with South Carolina ECU, when a line comes out and it shifts all the way across the line, so when it went from South Carolina -2 all the way to ECU -4, he said, rule of thumb is this. You either take the team the line shifted over to, so in this instance it'd be ECU, or you don't bet it. You leave it alone, because if for the line to go across the number, there has to be something that they know that you don't know. But in this instance, it's crazy. The line has gone Carolina, ECU, back to Carolina, literally swinging back and forth. So that's why my best bet, guys, I'm not touching the line. I don't want anything to do with that line. I'll be honest with you guys. It's felt like a sucker bet since the beginning. I think Vegas is going to make a lot of money on the spread on this game one way or another. I think they're going to be very successful this weekend. I do love the total, though, guys. If you have not listened to the show today, the under 58, and again, I'm sure there's many of you out there that are going to say, oh, Chris, life's too short to bet the under, man. Life's too short to bet the under. I hear you, Big Cat. I hear you, Barstool fans. I get it. But if you like winning money, it's not too short to bet the under, guys. And I look at this game, and ECU is not elite defensively. They're not, right? And we have our own set of issues in the back end and the secondary. However, I truly believe with the battle in the trenches on both sides, and I feel like looking at these two teams, I think the defenses are going to be ahead of the offenses just slightly. Again, I'm not saying it's going to be a 17-14 game, but you're giving me 58. So that means this game could finish up 30-28, and I push 28-27. I like my odds there. I like my odds. I don't see this being a game where it's like 35-31. I don't think we get that high scoring again, especially when you look at South Carolina, their questions at quarterback. ECU was putrid offensively last week, couldn't run the football. South Carolina should be able to really, really stifle that ECU running game and Holt Naylor's. And Holt Naylor's the guy that's shown that, hey, you get some pressure on him. He's a good quarterback, but you get some pressure on him, he will turn the football over. So for that reason, I like the under 58. That is the best bet in this game. I think it's a no-brainer. I think it's a no-brainer. I like the over-under, or the under 58. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Josh Reichley says, while on the subject of life victories, I'd like to share with my TDC, TSUS, and Gamecock family, I'll be taking a new amazing job opportunity that's going to be bittersweet for my 12 to 2 p.m. life. September the 20th, I'm changing everything and moving to a third shift position that'll have my ass sleeping during the Daily Crow. But we'll be checking in live every single opportunity I have. Keep up the amazing work, Chris Gocock. Josh, congratulations to you. Hey, all good. You got to take care of you and yours. And, hey, the beautiful thing is this, Josh. You can always watch the Daily Crow on replay. It's on YouTube. That's the beauty of it. So, may not get to ask questions, but you can always watch it on replay. So, again, guys, 843-790-3377. We do have a couple texts here. Hunter Wages. I feel like the biggest key to the game for us is getting after ECU early. If we can score a few times early, I can see ECU fading out of the game. We need to try to end this game by halftime. Hunter, I do agree with you. I think taking the crowd out of it, weathering that storm, because listen, ECU, I think in a game like this, they're going to have an initial push out the gate. I mean, they're going to come out guns a-blazing, trying to ride the momentum. It's going to be a packed house. It's going to be a crazy environment. I've never been to ECU, but I know people that went to ECU. I know those who have been to Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium, and I know people scoff like, oh, Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium. Like, you heard Shane Beamer yesterday, though, say Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium, ECU is more rowdy than some ACC and Big 12 environments he's been in, guys. Those people up there, they party. Those people party. Like, there's no question. They get after it. So it's going to be a raucous environment. Weather the storm, and if you can take the crowd out of it early, like you said, man, get the ball, go down and score, get a 3-and-out, force a turnover, going to be huge for you. Going to be huge. But I think, listen, I think ECU is going to punch you early. I do. I think they're going to punch you early. I think they're going to come after you early, and you know, yeah, I think they're going to come after you early, and you got to be able to weather that. You got to be able to fight that. You know, this is going to be the first time in the Shane Beamer era or ever you're going to hit some semblance of adversity. You are, right? You're going to hit some adversity on Saturday. You got to be able to handle it. Brendan M. in the TDC Questions channel on the Big Cock Club Discord says, Marcus Satterfield is speaking with reporters now, asked about Luke Doty. Quote, I think it's definitely going to be close. He was moving around well today. I'll tell you this, man. I really, and I don't know. I'm just guessing. I think South Carolina's underselling Luke Doty's availability and his status. I mean, Shane Beamer said all last week he's going to be 100%. He's going to be 100%. He's going to be 100%. What could have changed that he's not going to be 100% for the game on Saturday? So, you know, I know it's all about his health. If he's not ready to go, don't put him out there on Saturday. I'll be surprised if he's not 100% ready to go. If he wasn't 100%, why would he be practicing? You know what I mean? Like, are you going to practice a guy that's at 90%? Like, if his foot wasn't ready to go, I mean, what do you think they're doing? Having him practice half speed? I mean, I don't know. I just, we'll see. We don't know. It's all guesswork at this point, but I would expect Luke Doty will be ready to play. I would be surprised if he's not. Let's see. Let's see. Ryan Cawthorn not saying it won't be loud, but it is a noon game in an undersold stadium of 50K. Yeah, I heard the tickets were going for cheap. Would love to see a lot of Garnet and Black up there. Also, by the way, quick reminder for all of you in here, would love to see a lot of Garnet and Black in Greenville, South Carolina on Saturday, guys. Carolina Ale House, our watch party Saturday in downtown Greenville, South Carolina at Carolina Ale House. Guys, something very, very exciting, by the way. I was able to meet with the Carolina Ale House folks on yesterday. Really awesome stuff. If you were on the fence about going, or if you're just going either way, something really cool we're going to be doing. For those who attend, you let and notify your server, your bartender, whoever, that, hey, we're here with the Spurs Up show. We're here for the Gamecocks watch party, whatever it might be. How about this? You are going to get 10% off your entire order. Doesn't matter if it's beer, doesn't matter if it's food, doesn't matter what it is. 10% off your entire order just being there for the Spurs Up show. So, also in the future, the plan is we're going to do giveaways, like tailgate packages, like tables at Carolina Ale House. We'll probably do some TSUS swag merch giveaway at like halftime of games, because, again, we're going to be doing these watch parties every single game, every single road game, I should say, throughout the 2021 season. So really excited for that. But guys, if you are coming out on Saturday, if you're thinking about coming out, head on out. 10% off of everything. Just tell them you're with the Spurs Up show, and it'll take care of everything else. So really, really exciting stuff. Appreciate those fine folks at Carolina Ale House for doing that, for giving you guys even more incentive to head out and really taking care of our people. I truly appreciate Carolina Ale House doing that. Tyler Knoll says 35-10 Gamecocks is my prediction. Our lines will dominate the game and the plethora of backs we have with Luke back. It's going to make big difference as well with the skill set he possesses, ready to spot the ball. Sean O'Brien in the TDC Questions channel says, do you think they're being vague and underselling Doty at the moment just to keep the iron sharp and competitive in the quarterback room? You know, is it gamesmanship? Is he really not 100%? Like, I don't know. I just, all I'll say is this. I'll be surprised if he's not 100% Saturday. That's all I'll say that. Sperminator also in the TDC Questions channel. Keep an eye on Josh Vann and Amarian Brown this weekend. Indeed. Yeah, indeed. I think two of those guys both. So I think both of those guys could have big games for you. Lance Player Satterfield just said he wants more Joyner packages moving forward. Do whatever we got to do to move the football, I'm down with it. I don't care if it's Joyner packages, if it's Doty packages, if it's Zeb Nolan. Just do whatever you got to do to move the football. Brian Dean, yes, Kevin Harris I expect to play like a man on fire on Saturday. John Campbell, how do you feel about the O-line? Personally expected more. Yeah, I expected more in week one. I expected them to be more dominant. I think they will have a better game this weekend, and I think that they will be I still think they'll be a strength for us going throughout this season. If we struggle this weekend, I will start to be concerned. I will begin to be concerned. Cody Gaskin says, I'll be at the Carolina Ale House in Summerville, South Carolina. Hopefully you can make a trip there. Yeah, we've talked about that one, Cody. Again, the only two we have set right now are this weekend in downtown Greenville, South Carolina. And next weekend, for the Georgia game, 7 o'clock kickoff, we will be at Carolina Ale House in Harbison, locally, Columbia, South Carolina. So, really excited, though. I'm imagining we're gonna get all across the state, so Summerville might be our next stop. You never know. Owen Turner, does R.J. Roderick play in the secondary this week, or do we roll out with the secondary we had last week? Well, Owen, the reason R.J. Roderick did not play last week is because he was one of the guys that was suspended for the game. So I'd imagine he's back. I think he'll play, yes. I 110% think R.J. Roderick will play. Catch the damn ball, Trevi. I couldn't have said it better myself. Let's see. 843-790-3377. OVR says, I might be wrong, but I think we handle ECU easily this weekend. I have a feeling we will punch them in the mouth early and we'll win by 17 points. Bubba Wethead says 34-24. Go ahead touchdown with 4 minutes left to secure the win. Cody Gaskin says, I think it's a good thing to have two quarterbacks. Don't wish injuries on anyone, but if somehow Doty unexpectedly goes down again, we have a good, reliable backup quarterback. And Cody, I'd agree with you. I mean, this is a good thing. What happened in week one is a good thing because, and again, you're right. It's not wishing injuries or trying to, we're certainly not trying to speak it into existence, but Luke Doty's a mobile quarterback. And when you run and you have that mobility, it's a plus, it's a positive, but you are putting yourself at risk more often than a guy who does not get outside the pocket. So, if nothing else, at least having a guy that can come in for a series, a set of plays, a quarter, or maybe a half, having that guy, without a doubt, is beneficial. There's no question. It's only a positive for this football team to have actual depth. I mean, look at Connor Shaw. Look at when he was at South Carolina. How screwed would Carolina would have been if they didn't have Dylan Thompson? I mean, having Dylan Thompson was a game changer. So, let's see. I'll ask you guys this, because, again, I'm seeing people that are picking the Gamecocks that are very, very confident, that think South Carolina is going to win by 14 or more points in this game on Saturday. Let me ask you guys this, and I'm really curious to hear your responses. Did you guys think all preseason this was going to be a blowout? Or are you going based off of what you saw in week one, all of a sudden you have a newfound sense of confidence? I'm curious. Because, again, I have been mentally preparing myself for a battle, for a close game all preseason long. I mean, you guys have heard me talk about this game over and over and over, and I've said it's the most pivotal game, the most important game of the 2021 football season. I know some of you have disagreed, but I think for the most part, I think many of you do agree that for the prospects of this season, this is a very pivotal game. And I feel like most agreed with me that it would be a close game, but I'm starting to see a ton of people that are saying it's going to be a blowout. Like we should win by two or more touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. I'm seeing tons of I'm seeing a very confident bunch of Gamecocks. Are you confident because you always have been and you just never thought ECU was worth a damn? Are you confident because of what you saw from South Carolina? Are you confident because of what you saw from East Carolina on their Thursday game against Appalachian State? Like what is driving the confidence right now? I'm not saying you're wrong in being confident. I still just tend to think, guys, at East Carolina, they're going to give you their best shot. I think it's going to be a closer game. I don't think it's going to be a double-digit score win for South Carolina. And again, I'll give my prediction later this week. I don't think it's going to be a double-digit score win for either side. Like I think this is going to be a close football game. Now, if turnovers start to play into effect, if you're able to capitalize in situations like that, then who knows? Maybe you can pull away. But I've mentally prepared myself all preseason that this is going to be a tough football game and a close football game. And I think the Vegas line honestly reflects that. I think the Vegas line reflects that, guys. I mean, whether Carolina's favored or the dog, this game is basically a pick 'em. I mean, this game's basically a pick 'em, guys. And I'm not saying the Vegas line means everything. Certainly it doesn't. But they don't build those mansions out in the desert off of winners' money. Like, Vegas normally knows what the hell they're talking about. Guys, the Gamecocks were a 42.5-point favorite against EIU and won by 46. So Vegas they're not idiots. Like, they're not idiots. They make a living doing that. So, whether, and the spread, we should say, initially came out Gamecocks -2. So Vegas is expecting South Carolina to win the football game. But, I mean, I think at most it's a 10-point win. Guys, I just think it's going to be a close football game. I have convinced myself it's going to be a close football game. If I'm wrong, I'd love to be wrong and Carolina beat the living hell out of them. I'd love to be wrong. But I don't know. I guess I have mentally conditioned myself. I guess here's my thing. And this is I'm not trying to carry over past feelings from the previous regime over to Shane Beamer and his football team in this program. It's a new era. It's a new age of counter football. I totally get it. But I think I also feel, too, that until South Carolina shows up in a game like this and gets a big win, a dominating blowout win, it's just really, guys, it's really hard for me to bank on that. It just really is. I was one that 2019 was preaching, hey, Appalachian State, they've got some pretty decent players, but the line of scrimmage, we're going to dominate. We're going to dominate. We're going to dominate. They can't hang with us. They haven't recruited like we do. We're going to dominate. We're going to dominate. It's at home. And I had egg on my face. And I mean, I had straight up egg on my face. And so I'm not trying to hold that against Beamer, but I'm just a little hesitant to just say this is a kick-in win. I'm sorry. I just am. I'm a little hesitant. Again, it's not me doubting Shane Beamer. But I need to see it. I got to see it, man. I got to see it. I don't know. I've just got to see it first. I've got to see it. So, and also this too, by the way, this is a factor that nobody's thinking about. I'm surprised that our fan base doesn't have more respect for East Carolina than I have seen. Because, guys, they've always played us tough. I mean, the only season they didn't was, 2012. And, I mean, think of how good we were. I mean, we beat the living hell out of them at Willie B. 2012, sure, we crushed them. Every other time, guys, I feel like it's been a battle. I mean, think back to Muschamp's first year, 20-15, and we should have lost that game at home. We should have lost. I mean, 2014, they gave us a close game. 2011, at B of A, they were leading. So, I mean, it's been a very, very good series, and I'm sure East Carolina fans and East Carolina supporters, they feel like they should have beaten the Gamecocks by now at some point. So, this has just always been a tight, competitive series. There's a lot of familiarity. I mean, hell, ECU's starting running back, guys, which he's a really good player, he literally said this is the game he's looking forward to the most. He's a South Carolina native. The name slipped my mind. I bet. Raji Harris. Yeah, Raji Harris. Really good player. Really quality back. So I'm kind of surprised that Gamecock fans are so quick to and again, I think it's fans are riding the momentum from the preseason, all the positivity, and that's totally fine. Beating up on EIU 46-0, and I totally get that. And they're also looking at the result in week 1 of Appalachian State, taking care of business against ECU, and ECU didn't look very good in that game. Let's call it for what it is. But I'm just, guys, it's been a competitive series. I just don't. There's nothing there. I'm just going to be honest. There's nothing that tells me South Carolina is going to blow out ECU. Now, should you expect to win the game? Should Gamecock fans expect South Carolina to win the game? 110%. 110%. South Carolina has recruited better than East Carolina. Top to bottom, they have a better roster than East Carolina. I know you're on the road. So what? Who are you the following week? So if you can't handle Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, boy, it's going to be a really rough one in week 3. But, yes, we should expect to win the football game. But I'm convinced it's going to be close, guys. I just call me crazy. I think it's going to be a close football game. Again, guys, sorry, I feel like I went on a little bit of a rant there. Taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Robbie Davis says, I do think we're going to win, but I'm telling you now, the team that wins the field position and turnover battle will win the game on Saturday afternoon. Your friend, Robbie Davis. Side note, my brother Chandler, his birthday is Saturday. Give him a shout-out. Chandler, happy birthday to you, my friend. And appreciate Robbie Davis. Appreciate you texting in. Eric Fryer says 35-3. Wow, I can see the moonshine is flowing early at the Fryer house today. Hey, Eric, that would hit the under 58, so I'm not even complaining. And you know what? I'd love a 35-3 win. No, I'm kidding. Hey, I respect it. If you think South Carolina's going to go out there and blow out ECU, I respect it. You're entitled to your opinion. I will drop my score prediction on Friday. You guys will know then, but I can guarantee you it's not going to be 35-3. I'm just going to tell you right now. And here's the thing, guys. When we talk keys to the game, I'm having to get a little creative and resist because, you could say line of scrimmage for South Carolina is the key every week. Hey, we got to run the football and we got to stop the run. We got to run the football and we got to get pressure on the quarterback. Those are obvious, so I'm trying to think a little outside the box when it comes to keys to the game. But really in this one where you have the biggest advantage is up front. Because ECU's got athletes. They have athletes on the outside, guys. They've got some pretty good wide receivers. They've got a good running back. They've got a quality veteran quarterback who can make plays, who can do it both with his legs and his arm. Offensively, and you've got questions at quarterback, you got to be able to run the football. Nobody's convinced you're going to beat them with the passing game. I would love to be proven wrong. Maybe Josh Vann has another big outing. Maybe Jalen Brooks steps up. Maybe Dak Joyner gets it together. Maybe somebody else emerges. Maybe the tight end, whatever. But it starts with the running game for South Carolina each and every single week. There's just no question. There's no question. Defensively, you have got to get pressure on Holt Nailers. You've got to get pressure on him. Because if one of two things happens, you also got to contain him. Because if one of these two things happens, if Holt Nailers either one has time to throw, or two, if he's able to get outside the pocket and improvise and keep his eyes downfield, ECU guys, they have the athletes on the outside to give you a lot of problems. Just bottom line. I think they've actually got some pretty decent athletes on the outside. So, again, those are two very obvious keys to the game, but they're still keys. They're still keys, no question. Eric Fryer says, secondary shines, run game dominates. No cure for Doty's mobility. Our defense pitched a shutout last weekend with base coverage and plays. Charlie White, or Clayton White, opens the playbook up on Saturday. Hey, that sounds like a perfect day to me. Eric, sign me up right now. I'm not saying that's impossible. Hey, here's a stat that would help Eric's argument. You ready? I was going to say I will also talk about this on the podcast, but why not? We'll talk about it here on the Daily Crow. Get this stat. Here's a number for you. You can tell your buddies about this and brag to them that you researched and found this. 31.2. That's your number of the day. The East Carolina Pirates lost 12 fumbles and threw 9 interceptions in 655 offensive plays in 2020. ECU averaged 31.2 snaps between turnovers, worst in the AAC and number 116 in FBS. So, if you're able to force turnovers at that rate against ECU, who knows? The blowout, the route could be on. The route could be on if that happens. No doubt. The route could be on. Josh Williams, here's a great question. Let's first get to the TDC questions channel. We'll get back to Josh's question. T-Noel28 says 35-10 Gamecocks is my prediction. Lions will dominate the game, and the plethora of backs we have with Luke back, it's going to make a big difference as well with the skill set he possesses. Ready to spot the ball. They looked horrible against App State, and I truly believe Beamer will have his guys ready to hush the naysayers. Would love to see it. Sean O'Brien says, many fans who haven't delved too much into the history of this matchup are just using the Kentucky logic with this one and writing it off as a default win. Carolina should win, but can very easily lose with a bad week of practice. I would just say, Sean, if you show up and do not play well, you will lose the football game. You got to go play well. You've got to go. Like the fans that are like, oh, well, we'll just save Luke Doty for Georgia. No, bro. If he's 110% healthy, he needs to play. Like, you need to play the best version of your football team. That you should not be viewing this as, oh, well, we'll kind of play our backups and beat ECU. Like, no. That is, you are very much mistaken, folks. ECU will give you their best shot. Josh Williams says, and here's a good question, says, okay, Chris, what if we do win by 3 touchdowns? Do you think that will change your perspective on the year? Well, first thing to that comment, Josh, I want to make it very clear. My perspective on the year, I picked 6-6. So I don't think my perspective on the year was very negative. If South Carolina wins by 21 points, will that change that prediction? Let's say that. I don't know that it will. I mean, I'll tell you this. Not all 21-point victories are built equally, whatever. But if you go win by 21, you had a really good day. I mean, there's just no question. I will feel very confident that South Carolina will make a bowl game. I can tell you that much. I will feel very confident. It will not change my feelings most likely on the Georgia game, not to spoil predictions, but I mean, probably won't change my feelings on that game. But in games like Kentucky, Tennessee, Mizzou, I mean, you certainly are going to feel like, okay, like we might have something here. We might really have something. So is it gonna swing my predictions a whole lot? Not really. It will make me feel very confident this team will get to 6 wins, though, I can tell you that. Taylor Novinger, that ECU defense with a bunch of puke emojis. Yeah, they were bad last year. There's no question. They were bad. I mean, Appalachian State averaged 6.4 yards per carry, Taylor, in the game last week. 6.4. That is that's a large number. And that's Appalachian State. And again, take nothing away from the Mountaineers because they are a very, very, very good football team. I think people should be giving App State credit, guys. Said something this week on social media that some of you may not have liked, but somebody asked me, Chris, is App State better than South Carolina? And I said, until proven otherwise, I don't think there's anything that tells you that South Carolina is better than Appalachian State. You can block me if you want. You can cut off the Daily Crow. You can kick and scream and yell, but App State's a good football team. They're a good football team. Bottom line. Yes, ECU's defensive line was being down. That's where South Carolina, Josh, is going to win this football game. There's no question. That's where they're going to win this football game. In the trenches. You know, again, the biggest difference in the levels of football going from SEC to the American Athletic Conference, there are good athletes all over college football. There are a lot of athletes that could play at a lot of different levels. Like, again, I think ECU's probably got a couple wide receivers that we could use on our team. But in the trenches, that's really the difference. That's really where you see the difference, the line of scrimmage. You know, the SEC speed up front and the size and the agility. Like guys like Jordan Burch, you know, no offense, they don't play at ECU. They don't play at App State even. They play in the SEC, right? You know, ECU's not going to see another Jordan Burch all year. They're not going to see another J.J. Ngbari all season long. So that's where you're going to win the football game. Again, I know that's such a typical answer and it's such a boring answer, but you know, we can talk Luke Doty, we can talk Zeb Nolan, we can talk receivers, we can talk Darius Rush in the secondary, we can talk but line of scrimmage. That will tell the tale for South Carolina. That will tell the tale. Because if you can't block up front and you can't get pressure on the quarterback and stop the run, none of it's going to matter anyways. None of it's going to matter. So again, I know it's a boring answer, and you could say that every single week, the same key, but that's truly where it starts. Like I said, guys, I'm trying to be creative with my keys to the game week to week because I don't want to repeat myself over and over and over because you could. For South Carolina, what are the keys? Oh, run the ball, get pressure on the quarterback, Don't turn it over. I mean, you could say that every week. But no, seriously, I mean, I think in this one, you have an obvious advantage up front, and you got to be able to lean on that. You have to. I think the offensive line will come around, but they didn't have their best showing last week. That can't happen again. The offensive line's got to be better. The offensive line has got to be better. Jeff Cannon says, bottom line, ECU is not a good team, and Carolina will be better on the line of scrimmage. Kevin Cox says, Doty has to start over Zeb. We have to be a better quarterback, or we have to have a better quarterback than 121 yards on an FCS team. Yeah, I mean, if he's ready to go, you got to go with Luke Doty, in my opinion. Like I told you guys on Monday, I love what Zeb Nolan did in week 1 for you. He did his job. He did exactly what you asked him to do. But at some point, and I don't know necessarily even if it's this week, but at some point you're going to have to be dynamic offensively to win a football game. And there's only one guy on the roster that truly gives you that dynamic nature under center. It's Luke Doty. It's Luke Doty. And I think Luke's going to be a guy, guys, listen, you might have to take some of the bad that comes with the good he provides, that comes with the upside. There might be more risk with a guy like Luke Doty, right? He's going to take off more. I still like Luke Doty in the passing game. I think fans, they don't even give him a chance. They don't even give him a chance in the passing game. I think he can be more than serviceable in the passing game, but there might be a little bit more risk with his style of play, but you got to take the upside with that. And you're going to need that upside, in my opinion. I just think so. So let's see. Eric Fryer says Darius Rush gets a pick. Lock it in. Jalen Dickerson gets 3 tackles, I think that is. Yeah, 3 tackles for a loss and a sack. Would love to see it. Would love to see it. Again, 843-790-3377. Questions are rolling in here on a Wednesday. Sean O'Brien says, what position group do you hope to see step up the most this week from week 1? Offensive line. It's no question. Offensive line. Offensive line. I want to see the offensive line go out there and impose their will. I want to see the offensive line open some holes. Kevin Harris is back, obviously. I want to see it from the offensive line. I really do. I want to see it from the offensive line. That, you talk about the greatest improvement made from week 1 to week 2 in a football team. It makes its largest improvement week 1 to week 2. I want to see the offensive line from week 1 to week 2 show significant improvement. I'm not saying they were terrible last week, but I mean, against the team they were playing, I just feel like you should have been a lot better. I know EIU was sending the house and trying to stop the run. I get it, but the offensive line, we will go as far as they go. If the offensive line has a bad year, it's going to be very tough for us to have a good year. So I'm putting it on the O-line this weekend, man. I'm putting it on the O-line. Kevin Harris is back. I think he's going to bring a little bit more energy and spark to the running game. Not saying it wasn't good last week, but I think you insert Kevin Harris, who led the SEC in rushing yards. I think that's going to do wonders for you. But I want to see the O-line make that jump. Everybody else, I thought pretty much played well. The offensive line, I want to see a little bit more from them. And I want to see the offensive line set the tone early. Set the tone, because you could set the tone early in this football game. If you're able to run it down their throats and move bodies out of the way, all of a sudden it's like, oh, wow. ECU's thinking to themselves, oh, boy, we're in for a long day. We're in for a very long day. So I want to see the offensive line. I want to see them set the tone early in this football game. Luke RJ says, should we expect to get a blocked punt every game? I would say no. I would say no. I think that is something. I mean, you can't bank on that. Would be awesome, but you can't bank on that. Let's see. Jesse Jacobs texts in, says, just wondering, I saw Prize Picks, but what do you use to bet on actual matchups, spread, money line, etc.? Well, I'll tell you this, Jesse. Nobody is paying me to say it. We actually don't have a sportsbook sponsor for the season yet, which is very strange to me. I'm actually kind of surprised. But we've used MyBookie in the past. Bovada's a good one. I mean, there are many, many options that you can go play on for sure. We got a text. Hey, Chris Brooks Herring. I met you at the Woody a few weeks ago. I have the Block C and Gamecock tattooed on the inside of my bicep, if that jogs your memory. No, I definitely remember Brooks, and very cool. Yeah. Very cool. Very, very cool. Well, I guess everybody in the TDC channel, or excuse me, in the Daily Crow, knows that yours truly was at the Woody that was a hot minute ago, I feel like. But yes, we will yes, appreciate you. Thank you for texting in. Hunter Wages says, Not Carolina related, but do you still have Oklahoma in your playoff? I know it was only week 1, but dang, they look bad. Too early to tell, Hunter. Let's not have overreaction after 1 week. It's 1 week. It's 1 week. It's 1 week of football. Long season to go. If Oklahoma takes care of their business, they're in. They're in, bottom line. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Guys, the questions are rolling in here on a Wednesday, Hump Day, September the 8th, 2021, guys. Again, appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you all so much with love and support, guys. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break. We'll be back again. Would love to keep hearing from you, your predictions for East Carolina, your keys to the game, any key matchups, what stands out to you, what do you most want to see outside of the obvious, which is a victory. But again, rocking and rolling here on a Wednesday, folks. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, ladies and gents, boys and girls, we are back Wednesday, September the 8th, 2021. Appreciate you all tuning in, taking your questions, your comments, and your calls as well. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. The TDC Questions channel will jump there first. Cody Gaskin says, who do you have to win the Heisman Trophy? Just curious because I don't know if you've ever given your prediction on that. I didn't, honestly. I don't know how we fared in week one. I really didn't look at the I didn't look at the stats or anything, but I think Spencer Rattler from Oklahoma's got a really good chance. It just makes sense. It makes sense that Rattler would win it at Oklahoma. They're going to throw it a ton. His stats are going to be gaudy. They're going to be a playoff team. Kind of all the ingredients you need to be a Heisman Trophy winner. Ryan Crisp, no, I will not be at the game this weekend. I will not be in Greenville, North Carolina. Instead, in case you missed it, we'll be at Greenville, South Carolina, throwing a watch party downtown Greenville at Carolina Ale House, the downtown Greenville location, guys. Doors open at 11, kickoff at noon. And like I told you guys, for everyone who comes out, tell them you're with the Spurs Up Show. You're going to get 10% off your entire order. So we're taking care of our people. Going to be a really, really good time. Looking forward to it. I already had a ton of you guys DM me, tell me you're going to come out and about, and I'm really looking forward to meeting all of you. Again, I've made the decision for that, by the way. No pregame or postgame show, like live stream, no watch along. I really, guys, at those type of events, I really just want to lock in on getting to meet the people that are there, shake you guys' hands, have conversation, weighing the options. I just think that's more valuable than trying to, we go live all week. We break down the game. We dissect it. We have podcasts every day. We do all that. For these watch parties, I really want to, for lack of a better way of putting it, reward the people and give attention to the people who take time out of their day, who choose to come watch the game with us. I really want to be able to interact and conversate with and hang out with those folks. So, of course, we'll still be making content, halftime videos, post-game videos, all that good stuff. But, no pregame, no post-game live stream, and no, of course, I'm not going to do the live stream watch along. Excuse me. I won't be doing that this season, guys. It's just one of those things where it's like, again, we're live all week. We're live all year. Let's just enjoy the game. So either way, anyways, guys, really excited. Definitely come on out to Carolina Ale House, downtown Greenville, South Carolina. Going to be a really, really good time. Yours truly will be there right at 11, maybe a couple minutes before, but definitely come on out. Going to be a really, really good time. They've got tons of drink specials, food specials, everything else. Let's jump to, we got a text here on the text line. Bingham texts in and says, besides Doty and Harris coming back, what other offensive players do you see stepping up in this matchup? I think Jaheim Bell is going to be a guy week after week after week that is going to be a weapon for you. I think Nick Muse at the tight end position. Could Josh Vann possibly build on what he did last week? I think all of the running backs, it doesn't just have to be Kevin Harris. I think all of the running backs, Zaquandre White, Marshawn Lloyd, Juju, Rashad Amos, all of them are going to play a big factor. I think those guys on offense, can a Jalen Brooks maybe, who knows? But those guys I mentioned, those would be my top candidates in regards to, guys who are going to be playmakers and dudes you'll be depending on week after week. Let's see. Joshua Williams, if you had to pick 3 players of the game from each facet, who would they be? Are you talking about for last week or for this week? Kind of hard to pick players of the game for this week when they haven't played yet. And 3 is a lot, I feel like. 3 is a lot. Let's see. We had another text, I believe. I got a couple of texts. So somebody texted in, was curious if you have to reserve seats for the Beamer shows on Thursdays. No, it's first come, first serve. Readily available. Just show up. They do get pretty packed. So if you want to make sure you have a seat, get there around 5:45 or 6. Don't wait to the last minute. But no, first come, first serve for sure. Hunter Wages says, I'm at the, quote, think we're worse than we actually are, end quote, phase of every game. This week's final score for him, South Carolina 28, ECU 27. I think we're going to have more problems stopping them through moving the ball through the air than predicted, but we'll pull out a close one. That prediction will probably change by Friday when I reach my, quote, think we're better than we actually are, end quote, phase of the week. That's a big question mark in this game. Can South going to stop the passing attack of ECU? I mean, again, you can't say you learned anything about the secondary last week. They had a good game. You didn't learn anything. EIU wasn't a threat. EIU wasn't a challenge. We'll actually find out this week what South Carolina has when it comes to the secondary. Can they stop the passing game? I think ECU is actually a threat through the air for sure. They're without a doubt a threat to the air, of course, much more than Eastern Illinois was. No question. Also, guys, I don't know if any of you are part of it or if you've gone to any of their events. We've actually partnered with the Greenville Gamecock Club for this event as well. So really excited. They're promoting the event. They're going to have their people out there. Going to be a really, really good time. So you guys come on out. It's going to be a good time. I'm really excited to get up to the upstate and meet some upstate Gamecocks. Like I told you guys, I was really passionate about showing love to you all in the upstate, because you all put up with more than I could ever imagine being around those folks in the upstate, and those folks were in the orange and purple. But really excited, man, to show some love to the upstate Gamecocks. I'm actually getting up there Friday, staying with a really, really good buddy of mine that lives in Anderson, South Carolina. And so, we'll be hanging out on Friday, and then Saturday we're going to watch the game, of course, at Carolina Ale House. And then Saturday afternoon, we'll just be watching football all day and probably go back home on Sunday. So it's going to be a great weekend. I can't wait. It's going to be a good time. Let's see. We got questions rolling in here on a Wednesday. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Here we go. Here's a good text. Who do you think gives us the better chance to win? Zeb Noland or Luke Doty? All right. Who texted this? This is, I don't know, an 843 number. I wish he or she would have included their name. Because I've been beating around the bush a little bit. Listen, this is the easy answer. Well, whoever Shane Beamer says gives us the best chance, that's who I'm going to roll with. That's the typical answer. You guys don't tune into this show for the typical answer, for the coach speak answer. I'll give you my honest answer. I think it's Luke Doty. Again, Zeb Noland is Mark. It's Mark the Texan. So Mark, I wanted to give you credit for that good question. So Mark, with the question, who gives you a better chance to win? I think it's Luke Doty. I like what Zeb Noland did week one. He's a smart player. He's a veteran. He's a safe option. But we don't need safe. We need dynamic. We need someone who can get outside the pocket and make plays with their feet and make a defense think and keep a defense guessing. There's only one guy on the roster that can do that behind center, and that is Luke Doty. Bottom line, I think I've told you guys many times in the preseason, throughout early parts of this season, the best version of this offense and the best version of this football team, in my opinion, comes with Luke Doty under center. So there's your answer. I think Luke Doty does give you the best chance to win, as long as he's healthy. Again, if he's not healthy, then what are we talking about? I'm talking everyone healthy, no other factors. I think Luke Doty gives you the best chance to win, no doubt. Carolina Titan says, I'd like to see Amarian Brown get more playing time. After rewatching the game, I'm still not sold on Dak at wide receiver. He still had some catchable drops. It was a rough game. It was a rough game for Dak at wideout last week. Cody Gaskins in the TDC question channel says, over-under, East Carolina having 350 yards passing. Woof. 350. I got to go under, Cody. I mean, dude, listen, I don't think we're world beaters in the secondary. Most certainly I don't. I think we still have a lot of question marks. But our defensive line alone won't let that happen. I mean, unless our secondary is just letting guys run by them all day, 350 is a massive number. 350 is a massive. Now, if you would have said over under 250, that's a little tougher. Let's see. Travis Ford says, got to be a passer or there will be no running room. Doty has not shown that ability yet. Granted, Muschamp O is bad read, but to date, he has not shown passing skills. Noland made some big throws. Travis, I'll be honest with you, I didn't see a single throw that Zeb Noland made that Luke Doty couldn't have made. Again, I think it's just because Luke Doty is fast, and like anytime a quarterback is fast and can scramble and has athleticism, they just immediately get labeled as, oh, he's a scrambler, he can't throw. I think that's just the easy opinion to have. And like I told you guys, I think one of the worst narratives following Luke Doty is that he can't throw. I don't understand where this comes from. I mean, if you want to judge him off of last year in the last 3 games of the season when he was inserted into that dumpster fire, then I guess by all means do it. But Travis, go look back at the spring game. the kid can throw the football. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not going to crown Zeb Noland because he could throw the ball 20 yards down the field against EIU. I did not leave Willie B saying to myself, man, Zeb Noland he made a throw that nobody else on the roster could make. I just don't agree with that. Like, I mean, that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. I don't agree with that. I think Luke Doty can throw the football. Is he the most elite passer in the world? Well, nobody's saying that. But, like, and here's the thing, too. Is, Travis, you're saying Doty has not shown that ability, or you're saying he's not proven himself. Well, how's he ever going to prove himself if you don't give him the chance to do it? Again, are there less certainties with Doty, I guess, than Zeb Noland? Because I still even think, like, Zeb Noland was a complete unknown going into that game last weekend. But if you want to play that, sure. Maybe Luke Doty's there's some uncertainties, a little bit more. But again, he has the upside. So I'm rolling with the upside. Because, again, South Carolina's deficiencies at wide receiver, bottom line. And they're going to play teams with a lot better secondaries than what EIU had. I'm not even talking about ECU. I'm talking Georgia. I'm talking Kentucky. And I'm telling you guys, you're going to need some dynamic piece of your offense to have a chance. Just to even have a chance. Zeb Noland does not give you that. Zeb Noland did exactly what he had to do. He was very careful with the football. He commanded the offense. Good for him. But he didn't do anything spectacular. He didn't do anything flashy. He didn't do anything that tells you, oh, he's an all-SEC quarterback. He did nothing of the sort. He did nothing of the sort. So, all right, let's jump to the phone lines real quick. Doc, what's going on, man? How are you?
What's up, Chris?
I'm doing well. Appreciate you asking. What's up?
Yeah, man, and I'm glad to hear you're doing well. Listen, I understand the euphoria of kicking the shit out of somebody and throwing 4 touchdowns in one half. Those are all great things. But let's not forget who we were playing. And a lot of those short intermediate passes, I went back and rewatched the game. We had 4 drops right off the bat, and not a single one of them were contested. They were all short intermediate stuff, hit them in the hands, they dropped it. So the reason I bring that up is if we start out that way again against better competition, if we don't have somebody in the backfield that can make some plays with his feet, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble because ECU's certainly a better team than EIU, and they're nothing compared to what we're going to face week 3. So Doty needs to get in this game, get the rust knocked off of him so he can be ready to play against that ferocious pass rush that we'll face the following week. We can't just throw him in the Georgia game without him throwing a single pass in a real game environment. That wouldn't be fair to him.
Right.
And I don't think Beamer's going to do that. Zeb may very well start, but we'll see Doty play significant time this weekend because he needs to get ready for the following week and the rest of the season, like you just mentioned. Kentucky's defense is no joke either.
Yeah.
So, you got a Stoops coaching that team. They're always going to be good on defense.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what I want everybody to keep in mind is that while Zeb played admirably, and I'll take nothing away from his performance, the receivers let him down a little bit. But you're right. We didn't try and push the ball down the field but one time, and it was dropped. And that was certainly a throw that Doty could have made all day long. There was nothing special about that throw. It was just a post up, and then unfortunately it was dropped. But we've got to get Doty ready to play the rest of the season, basically is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely make a good point. I think they're going to approach it as, they're going to do whatever they got to do to win Saturday, and the rest of the season will play out the rest of the season. I do agree with you, though, the whole – I've seen some people say, well, you just save Luke Doty for Georgia. That sounds like a terrible plan, if you ask me. Let's just be totally honest. Bro, I don't think it matters who's playing quarterback. Beating Georgia, you're probably going to be a 28-point underdog. Whatever. You know what I mean? I don't think it truly matters, but I still just am of the belief the best version of this team and this offense is with Doty under center, and I think it's as simple as if he's 110%, he's going to start and he's going to play. I'll be honest with you, man, though. Will we play multiple quarterbacks? I can't say for 100%, but if I had to guess, I don't think Beamer's a guy that's going to roll into a game that's, wants to do the whole 2-quarterback system. Like, I think you need to pick one guy and let's just go. Like, you got to pick a guy. So if Doty, it's either Doty's 100% and he's playing and he's starting and it's his game, or he's not and it's Zeb Nolan's game and he's starting and he's playing the whole game. I think it's that simple. I don't think it's Doty's 98%, so we're going to play him for a couple packages. No, we need to play him the whole time. If he's 110%, he needs to play. He needs to start. I mean, so I guess what we'll learn this weekend is, like, you know, again, Doty was, and I saw somebody comment on Twitter, which it was a great conversation we had, but somebody said, you know, you got to find the man, right? Like, you got to find out who the man is this Saturday under center. I'm like, that's something you need to find out in practice. Like, I'm sorry, you're not going to beat East Carolina if you're spending the first half trying to figure out who the starting quarterback is. Like, and here's the thing, Luke Doty was the man after the spring game. He was named QB1. He was the man all summer. He was the man coming into fall camp. Then he got the foot injury. Is he not the man anymore when he's 100% healthy again? Is he going to lose his job because of an injury? I mean, I don't know the answers to these questions. So if Luke Doty is 110% healthy, he should be the starter. I don't think he should lose his starting job to an injury. And I agree with you that, you know, you don't take anything away from Zeb Nolan, but let's all keep it in perspective who they were playing. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? Like, there wasn't and I'm not taking anything away from Zeb, but he made some nice throws, but I didn't see a throw that he made that I'm like, oh man, there's no way anybody on our roster could make that type of throw. Like, he's got some NFL arm. You know what I mean? So I would say,
go ahead. I will say that I was impressed with was the one to Muse for the touchdown, and he put smoke on that one.
Right. No, yeah, I mean, yeah, he made some good throws.
I mean, that was some heat on that ball.
Yeah, he made some good throws. I mean, I will tell you this: I haven't seen quite as much of the quarterback banter as I thought I would. I think most fans that I've seen feel the same way that I kind of feel, in the sense of, yeah, Zeb played nicely, but Luke Doty's our guy. Like, I think most people feel that way, or a good chunk. I think more than I thought. I really thought this entire week was just going to be quarterback, just pandemonium around the position. But, you know, I don't know, man. Like, I think it's truly as simple as, if Luke Doty's 110%, he was your guy before. Why would that change when he's 100? Because Luke Doty, if he would have never gotten hurt, he would have started last week. Would he have not? I mean, would Zeb Nolan have dressed out and still? There's no way. Luke Doty would have started. So, and I go back to the whole thing of, is Doty going to be healthy this Saturday? I kind of look at it as, well, I mean, would he be practicing if he wasn't 100%? That to me is like a no-brainer. Like, I don't think they'd have him practicing if he was 90%. So, well, you know.
Listen, this created a unique situation with Zeb. I don't think we'll probably ever see something like this again, because I'm sure all the GAs across the country have been looking to see if they have any eligibility left. But we need to remember, too, that we play in the SEC, and we're one play away from the backup being the man. So,
right. It's a positive. It's a positive to have two guys.
We're in a good position, is what I'm trying to say, that we have two guys that could start, and we'd have a good chance of winning most games with either one of them, or our best chance.
Right.
Our best chances with Doty, no doubt. Zeb's not a letdown, other than, you know, maybe not being quite as mobile, but he did show a little bit of spunk when he ran for the first down. Yeah. So he's not a statue by no means. He's not Colin Hill.
I think, well, and that's what I was going to say, though, man. Like, Zeb Nolan's not Colin Hill, but I think what would really irritate fans is, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't think Zeb Nolan's that much different than Colin Hill. They're the same type of skill set. Drop back passer, which is, it's funny because going back to last year, the entire fan base was bitching and moaning that we need somebody that's a mobile quarterback. We need a mobile quarterback. Then we get into this season, it's like, well, we need somebody that can throw the ball. It's like, what do you really want? I mean, again, when you look at this football team, to me, you know, I know some fans disagree with me, which is fine, but I saw nothing in week one that all of a sudden tells me our wide receivers are just worlds better than I expected. We have great running backs. I think the O-line will come around. I like our tight ends in the passing game, don't get me wrong, but again, it's not, like you're saying, it's not just about ECU. When you play Georgia, and not even when you play Georgia, when you play Kentucky, they're a good defense. Like, you're going to have some sort of dynamic piece to your offense. And Luke Doty gives you that. He's the only guy. He's the only guy that gives you that. So that's just kind of the way I look at it. But I think you know as well as anybody, Doc, I trust in Beamer, and I would tell everybody to do the same. I just want to win. I don't give a damn who the quarterback is. So.
Yeah, the only other thing that I will bring up, and I'll let you go, is during my rewatch, I would critique, Juju and Marshawn just a little bit for not getting more north and south. They're not in high school anymore. They can't dance in the hole because the speed that we face gets them tackled. I mean, in high school that might have helped, and they got loose that way. But you hit the hole, you make the linebacker miss, and hopefully you make the linebacker miss, and then you're off to the races. But they were dancing around a little too much, and I'm sure Beamer's going to address that as well. If they would just get north and south and use that speed that God gave them, they would be much better running backs. And I'm sure they'll get there.
Yeah.
That was one thing I would say they need to work on.
Yeah, I definitely think Marshawn Lloyd was a guy that was really itching to hit the big play. I think he just being back.
He was.
First game. I think I think he's putting pressure on himself that he wants to put on a show for Carolina fans. He said that many times. So I agree with you. You just, take what's there. Them big ones will come. The big ones will come. He's got God-given ability. They'll happen. I definitely think I think there was a little bit of that. But, first game, whatever. I mean, but definitely something, a teachable, correctable things. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, brother. You have a good afternoon, and go Cox.
Go Cox. Appreciate it, Doc. Thanks so much. Guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Let's jump back to the phone lines real quick. Aaron, what's going on, man? How are you?
Oh, man, I'm about to knock out a set of these damn biceps, man. But this is my addition. This is my addition to the show today. And I know you're talking about Zev, and I wrote in the live chat that I don't think Zev would start, let alone back up anywhere in the SEC other than Vandy. But there are two things that I have to say about this week. Someone iterated it earlier. Doty has to play this week. You cannot throw him out against Georgia. That's lamb to the slaughter.
Right.
So I don't know if he's 100% or not. But if he's not 100%, you can't throw him out next week. You just can't. I mean, Georgia. Every team's strategy right now is going to be stack the box, make any quarterback that we have beat them with their arm. Secondly, this is what I've been hanging on, and I told you this a couple of weeks ago. Doty's missed 3 weeks of camp. He's missed a week of game prep, and I just don't see how you can. It gives me pause of throwing him out there this week. That's the only thing that gives me pause. When you miss that much camp and you miss that much game prep, I'm not saying he shouldn't play, but I don't know about starting. That would worry me.
Well,
if I were a coach.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's why Beamer and those guys are paid the big bucks, because only they know if Luke Doty is ready. I mean, you make a valid point that he hadn't practiced in a couple weeks and he didn't play last week, and this would be his first game of the season. And so we talked about last week, first game jitters or first game rustiness. Like, well, this is going to be Luke Doty's first game, so. That's why, again, Shane Beamer, that's why you hired the guy. Can he make the decision that is, okay, who gives us the best chance to win this week, and we're going to roll with that guy? And you wouldn't have hired him if you didn't think he could. So, I still just tend to think that if he's 100%, they're going to rock and roll with him. You can always bring Zeb back in. I mean, I think you can always bring Zeb back in. I just, do you believe that your best football team is with Luke Doty at quarterback, or do you not? That's the question. So.
No, Luke Doty is absolutely the best quarterback to go forward with. The fact that Zeb is playing boggles my mind. Just given where he came from,
It's a wacky story, no question. Yeah, it's a wacky story, no question.
It you know, like I said, like I told you last time I called, if this was anyone else, if the shoe were on the other foot, we'd be laughing our ass off. But, you know, you got to play with what you got.
Right.
Doty's the man. Mm-hmm. But it would worry me if my quarterback missed 3 weeks of camp and a week of game prep.
Yeah.
And he has to play. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. He has to play this week. I don't know about starting, but he has to play.
Yeah.
Because throwing him out against Georgia is, like I said, it's lambs to the slaughter because that's a formidable bunch up front, in back, and offensive line wise. Let me knock out these 5, man. Have a good show.
Yeah, man. Appreciate the call. Thanks so much. Great stuff. 843-790-3377, guys. That's 843-790-3377. Taking your questions, comments, calls. A busy Wednesday. We love it. Let's jump to TDC questions. Sean O'Brien says, which running back do you predict has the most rushing yards this week? That's a great question. I mean, I'd love to go with Kevin Harris. I think you're going to ride the bus yet again. I like Marshawn Lloyd. I like Zaquandre White. How much is the workload, I guess, for Kevin? How much is the workload? Let's see. Josh Williams, appreciate you, my man. Thank you. Appreciate you, Josh. Thank you so much. Let's see. I didn't give him kudos for the super chat earlier. So thank you, Josh. Appreciate it. Let's see. Daryl Wall says if Doty doesn't get hurt, Zeb is still coaching. At least we got another quarterback with experience, capable of managing games. If Doty struggles or goes down again, it's a win-win for us, but Doty's the guy. And Josh Williams again. Josh, thank you. Seriously. Josh is the man today and every day. Appreciate you, Josh. Thank you, Josh. Daryl continues. Doty's the guy. He wasn't the number 3 dual threat, elite 11 QB in the country out of high school for no reason. Can't judge him on the 3 games he was thrown into last year. The kid is good. I tend to agree with Daryl for sure. Again, Josh, thank you so much, man. Again, if you guys want to support the business, support the channel, support everything we do, you're on YouTube. You can through Super Chat, Super Stickers, all that good stuff. Again, Josh, thank you so much. Let's see. Tyler Knoll says Zeb overthrew a 6'8" E.J. Jenkins and threw a ball in triple coverage that was head-scratching. How did he make, quote, big throws? They were never more than 10 yards down the field. He didn't do anything to separate himself. Luke is still clearly the best quarterback on this football team when healthy. Zeb did everything he was asked to managing the game. That's all he did. Call it like it is. Doty over Zeb. Tyler Knoll has spoken. Brian Dean, who has a bigger game at tight end, Jaheim Bell or Nick Muse? I'll go Jaheim Bell. I really, man, and it's no slight against Nick Muse. I think Muse will have a good game, but, man, Jaheim Bell, I think, is really going to be a big-time player for us this year. I think he's going to be a guy week after week after week. He could be a difference maker this week. He could be a difference maker this week. So I think week after week after week, he's going to be a big-time player for us. No, he's just a mismatch nightmare, man. He lines up at tight end. He lines up at running back. He lines up at fullback, whatever. He's a hybrid type of player. He's just a mismatch nightmare for opposing defenses. Let's see. Again, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Luke RJ says, boy, if Luke Doty throws a couple of picks against ECU, then watch out. Oh, yeah. Yep, Twitter will be very, very fun. Let's not speak that into existence, though. Brandon Spell, tuning in late, but Coastal is 26-ish points favorites against Kansas this week. How long before South Carolina is a 26-point favorite against the Power 5 opponent, Vanderbilt? I could definitely see it against Vandy. Vandy's terrible, so I could most certainly see that. Sean O'Brien says, Nick Muse gives me Gronk goofy vibes. Well, Gronk was pretty good, so. Taylor, what happened to your wide receiver 1, Amarian Brown? Only had like 2 snaps and 1 catch. Well, he missed like half of fall camp with COVID, so I think that set him back. I don't know. Great question, Taylor. I'm as surprised as you are. Trust me, I'm as surprised as you are. So, Jonathan Lee, you said over 6 yards a carry App State had on the ECU defense. Yeah, I'd say we can do that if not better, but I think Doty gets the nod and runs it. And throws a few passes to the tight ends and a few short balls to the wide receiver. Gamecocks get it done. Yeah, guys, looking at these stats from ECU's first game, The Appalachian State offense, Chase Bryce went 20 of 27, 259 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. He was sacked only once. The rushing game, this is where it really stands out, though. App State ran the ball 36 carries for 242 yards. 242 yards. 226 net, I should say. So we'll say 226 yards. Either way. 226 yards and 2 touchdowns, and they averaged 6.3 yards per carry. Guys, their top 2 leading rushers, Nate Noel and Cameron Peoples, averaged 8.4 and 7.1 yards per carry, respectively. So, I mean, you look at that. I mean, South Carolina should be able to run the football. Run the football. Bottom line. Run the football. Do what you do best, which is run the ball. Brian Dean, I like our front 7, pretty nasty. I agree. Our front 7's very, very good and going to give us a chance every single week. No question. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. A quick reminder, if you're in the city tonight at Tin Roof, we'll be live 5 to 7. 5 to 7. No guests tonight at Tin Roof. You might have noticed that, by the way. No guests. I wanted to switch it up this week. We've been having guests on each and every single week, and they've been incredible, by the way. But I feel like you guys have had a lot of questions that we haven't really necessarily got to, and I kind of want to switch things up. Who knows? I might bring somebody up from the crowd to come chill with me on stage and talk a little football. Who knows? We'll we'll definitely take some 5-minute breaks tonight. It's basically going to be the Daily Crow on steroids, though, live at Tin Roof. I thought it was a really, really good opportunity. The first show where we are in the midst of a game week, if you will, with, South Carolina having played on Saturday, ECU game upcoming. A lot of great banter tonight. We can talk EIU, we can talk ECU, we can talk anything else. We can talk gambling, all that good stuff. But no guest tonight. So if you want to tune into that, you want to tune into the Daily Crow 2.0, I guess you could call it. We'll be live tonight at Tin Roof, 5 to 7. And I'll tell you this, guest-wise, you never know who's going to stop by. So just watch out. You never know. You never know who might slide through the old Tin Roof. Downtown Columbia in the Vista, folks, tonight, 5 to 7. And, of course, if you cannot be there, we'll be streaming it live here, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. It will be streamed live. Let's see. Brian Dean, I want to see Birch and Pickens have monster games. Indeed. Josh Williams, can we take a second and admire Chris's mullet fluff? That thing be busting. Josh, thank you. It is truly like, I probably need to get a haircut pretty soon. I'm hesitant to cut it though till we lose. My buddy offered to give me a haircut Friday, and I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. Like, can't get a cut. I might like trim the sides and whatever, but like, dude, you can't cut the back till we lose. I think that'd be bad luck. Brian Dean, be glad when Rick Sandage is back. He is a difference maker. Yeah, indeed. Hopefully he's back sooner rather than later. Luke RJ, pretty funny how in the simulation in the first half of the season you couldn't pass very well, and that's where we are lacking in real life. 4 touchdowns. We got to have some longer passes to keep the drives going. Let's see. Somebody said, how are you feeling about the Braves approaching playoff baseball this year? Hey, how about the Braves? Yeah. How about the Braves? They're crushing. They're absolutely crushing for sure. They're absolutely crushing. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Guys, we are going to take our last 5-minute break of the Daily Crow today. Again, if you have questions, please submit them. Whether you are in the Big Cock Club Discord, you are right here in the chat. You want to call in, text in, whatever you like. We got about 30 minutes left to go here on a Wednesday, September the 8th, 2021, as we continue to count down the minutes until the Gamecocks take on their first road test of the 2021 football season. Shane Beamer leading his boys in a Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, looking for a huge, huge win in the non-conference and a pivotal game for the Gamecocks 2021 football season. Guys, all that and more, you're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, what is up, guys? We are back. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. If you head over to social media, we just dropped our SEC gambling picks graphic for week 2. Guys, we started out the season last week 12-2. 12-2. Nobody is hotter than C Philly right now. So again, jump on that if you're trying to make some money this weekend. SEC gambling picks for week 2 are officially out. And of course, guys, quick reminder, if you have not done so, check out the podcast that dropped this morning. This morning, episode 492. 492 dropping this morning, talking best bet, SEC gambling picks, as well as takeaways from Shane Beamer's Tuesday press conference. But again, looking forward to another very successful weekend. The over-under set for South Carolina ECU 58. The spread at Gamecocks favored by 2. I've got the under 58 as my best bet in that football game. I've got the under 58. So, yeah, James Gordon. 12-2 Monday through Friday. Welcome to the Daily Crow, my friend. 12-2 as I plug in the charger to the MacBook. There we go. 12-2 Monday through Friday. Justin Kyle says breaks are for cowards. LMAO, just kidding. Well, Justin, I tell you, man, 2 hours is a long time to go uninterrupted, my friend. 2 hours is quite a while. So, yeah, the breaks are going nowhere. Daryl Wall says, Chris, you're going to have Steven Garcia on any future shows at Tin Roof or on any podcast soon. That's must-see TV right there. Daryl, yeah, I mean, I'd love to get him at Tin Roof. It's just tough because Steven does not live in Columbia. He lives in Tampa. So you just really got to catch him when he's in town. But definitely when he's in town, we'll definitely make sure that happens. So Christian Carver, you know what I find ironic? When Clemson fans say we only won week 1 because of EIU and that all Clemson plays is mostly cupcakes, albeit it's not Clemson's fault, the ACC is down. Dude, who cares what Clemson fans say? They couldn't even score a touchdown week 1. So who really gives a damn? I mean, who really cares? You know what I mean? Like, who really cares? Who cares what Clemson fans have to say? I don't. You shouldn't. You shouldn't either. I don't, and you shouldn't. Let's see. Travis says, no need to get fancy cute this game. Run the ball. Travis says, I'll say it again. Run the ball. Yeah, I'd agree with you, man. It's going to start there for South Carolina. Of course, again, that's very easy to say, and that's the typical thing. And you know, we could say that week after week after week, but really, truly in this game, that's where it's going to start for the Gamecocks. That's where it's going to start for the Gamecocks. You got to run the football in this game. That's the most – I think that is the most – if we're looking at position unit matchups in this game, that's the most obvious matchup, in my opinion, that favors South Carolina. The Gamecocks offensive line against the ECU defensive line. I mean, we're talking about – you know what's crazy, guys? ECU returned 10 of 11 starters on defense this year. So very veteran group. The problem is it's a veteran group that allowed 201 yards per game. 201 yards per game. So, and in week 1 against Appalachian State, they gave up 226 yards rushing, 6.3 yards per carry. I mean, ground and pound, baby. Hand it to the bus, give it to Marshawn, give it to Quan White. I mean, whoever. Establish the run. Establish the run, man. I don't think there's any secret, right? Don't outthink yourself. Don't outsmart yourself. The statistics tell you you should be able to run the football. Bottom line, period, point blank. Again, guys, SEC Gambling Picks graphic just dropped. 12-2 in week 1. That's a hell of a start, guys. That's a hell of a start. That's a hell of a start. Head over to the TDC Questions channel. Gamecock68 says, no, Clemson scored a touchdown just for the wrong team. Indeed. Women's basketball's conference schedule just dropped, by the way, guys. And I'll tell you this, I don't see a loss. Daddy O says, I'd love to see 2 1,000-yard rushers this season. Daddy O, I'll be honest, I don't think you will. Because of all the options we have in the backfield, man, you're going to be spreading the ball out so much. I don't see that happening. Sean O'Brien, is Lou on a stick going to make it into your background? Yes, at some point. I just haven't rearranged the background yet. I would put him like right here, but then you wouldn't be able to see you already can't see half of the Apex Art and Design picture. I guess I could put him like right here, maybe. Should I go grab it and find out? Should I go grab it and find out? We're going to be sitting right there. Yeah, I don't know. We're always kind of playing with the setup, so who knows? Maybe. That would be cool. That'd be funny. Why not? I'm going to grab it real fast. Why not? We're having fun on a Wednesday. Why not? This is going to be a real waste of time if this doesn't work. This is going to be a real waste of time, I guess, if it doesn't work. But oh well, so be it. This is what makes the Daily Crow beautiful, is these impromptu moments like this. We'll see. Let's see. Oh. Wow. Is that good there? A little bit. Boom. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Is that creepy or is that beautiful? The Lou head. You love to see that. Dude, we need a Beamer head like this. What? I need a Beamer head. How can we get a Beamer head made? That's incredible. So, Lou, what's going on? I don't know. Do you guys like that or hate that? I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel. I don't really know how to feel about that, to be totally honest with you. The ghost of Lou. I don't know how to feel. Whatever. We're going to ride with it for the rest of the way. I got less than 20 minutes, guys. Again, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Wesley Newmar, guys, you should see this dude set up incredible in his man cave. Wild. Just text it to me. Got a text here. Mark says ECU's won 4 games. The SEC schools, all 4 wins are against the Gamecocks. Yeah. Bo Shupp says ECU will stack the box like EIU and try to force it to throw. Well, what happened to that plan last week, Bo? Or any last season? Because they were pitiful. I mean, and I agree with you, Bo. I mean, certainly, if you're ECU, your game, I mean, defensively, you're saying to yourself, we have got to stop the run. Because they won't have a chance. They will not have a chance if they can't stop us from running the football and doing whatever we want to do. So I'll be curious how ECU attacks it defensively, but so we will have to throw. To the point we will have to throw at some point. But God, if we can just throw it all, Bo. If we can throw it all. Just keep them honest. I mean, ECU has not shown. I'll tell you this, if we cannot run it, I almost said the same thing this week as I said last week. If we can't run it against East Carolina, we have a whole other set of problems because we should be able to. Bottom line, we should be able to. Justin Kyle, yeah, dude, Phil Petty's impersonation of Lou Holtz was insanity. Like, I'm not going to do one. It was insanity. So, crazy. So, guys, by the way, since you're all here, really excited to let you all know, switching things up tomorrow. Got a little bit of a different type of interview tomorrow. You guys know I like to show love to all Gamecocks athletics, all Gamecock sports. Doesn't matter if you're just football, baseball, basketball, whatever. Tomorrow's show, we are actually having for the first time ever she's former, but a women's golfer, former Gamecocks women's golfer, 2-time second team All-SEC, and also 2-time first team All-SEC. Caitlin Damball is going to join the show again. You guys may not know who that is, but you will know after you listen to the interview. Really, really good stuff. Again, I thought it was a great opportunity to bring light and shed light on the great things Gamecocks women's golf is doing, because I don't know if you guys know this. They're crushing it. They're absolutely crushing it right now and have been for the last couple of years. Women's sports at Carolina are just killing it. So excited to chat with Caitlin. Sort of ran into her at our Hall show and started talking. I was like, hey, let's get you on the podcast. Why not? Let's show some love to Gamecocks women's golf. So again, very excited to chat with Caitlin, but a little bit of a switch up, if you will, a little bit of a different type of conversation coming tomorrow, but still the great same type of quality, still the same great conversation. Really excited and looking forward to chatting with Caitlin. Alan said, I told you already that South Carolina has a top 10 defense. Look for the Georgia upset and 7-0 when they go up against A&M. Allen can't be serious. He can't be. What is this, like Make a Joke Wednesday? Come on, bro. Sean O'Brien says, any surprises for you in the new AP Top 25? Not really. I mean, Sean, I'll be totally honest. We're not in it, so I barely even looked. I mean, we're not in it, so what does it matter? I mean, I hate to say it that way, but I'm saying it that way. So let's see, guys. Again, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Taking your questions, comments, calls. Less than 15 minutes to go here on a Wednesday. Let's see. Josh Smith, if we're 3-1 after losing to Georgia and beating Kentucky, we will be ranked. At minimum, you're in that others receiving votes category. I will give you that. You are in that others receiving votes category, especially if you beat Kentucky. Yeah, especially if you beat Kentucky. So, let's see. Josh, if I had to predict Josh, I still don't think we'll be ranked, even if you start 3-1 and beat Kentucky. You're just going to have to earn that respect, man. We are so far outside the top 25. Like, we're ranked like 75th right now. So, to get ranked, you probably have to start the season 5-1, really, or 6-1 to earn a ranking. I mean, you're just so far outside the top 25, dude. You're so far outside it. So, again, guys, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Guys, like I mentioned earlier in the show, if you did not hear, some of you I know probably tune in or jump on in this second hour, if you will. But if you did not hear, I want to say thank you to you all in case you missed it. And again, I'll be posting a graphic on social media and celebrating this victory with you all. But was getting the show ready for today, the podcast specifically, and glanced at the analytics. And as of last night, officially, we have hit 500,000 all-time downloads for the Spurs Up Show. 500,000. So again, guys, I want to say thank you all to you all so much. Anyone who's ever taken 5 seconds to ever tune into any podcast we've ever done, again, thank you so much. 500,000 is, I mean, it's an incredible number. When I first started, if you'd have told me that, hey, one day you're gonna hit 500,000 downloads, I've never been one to put a cap on anything that we're doing. I think this thing can grow as big and as bad as we want it to be. But, man, that's a big number. That's halfway to 1 million. So, again, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for the continued love and support. Without you guys, obviously, achieving that type of achievement, it wouldn't be possible. Just would not be possible. So, again, thank you so much. Thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, it means the absolute world. You guys are the best. Truly, I appreciate it. Jesse Jacobs says, would love to just take care of business against Vanderbilt, Tennessee, and Kentucky all in the same year. It's been a while. Really has. Really has. Justin Kyle says 500,000 downloads and you couldn't grace us with no breaks for a day. Just kidding. Appreciate the content as always. Well, Justin, I couldn't grace you with no breaks because we're live here 12 to 2. Then we're recording tomorrow's podcast. Then we're having our conversation, our interview with Caitlin Dambaugh. Then we're going live for 2 hours at 10 Roof. So yours truly, the lips are going to be flapping a lot today, my guy. A lot. So I appreciate the love, Justin. I know you're busting my chops a little bit. Again, 843-790-3377, guys. That's 843-790-3377. Got about 10 minutes left here on this Wednesday. Yeah, Justin Kyle, my Wednesdays are slammed, but you know what? I love it, man. I love it. Wednesdays are packed. We love it. We love it. John Campbell, appreciate the love, man. 500,000. It's crazy. I mean, just saying that is it. It feels crazy to say. Literally 500,000 downloads. And I don't care if it takes you 10 years to get there, 5 years to get there. If it takes you a year, if it takes you a month, 500,000's a ton. That's a lot of downloads. So, Luke RJ, what do you think of the play calls on offense? I like the game plan overall. And I would say this. We'll find out a lot more this weekend. We'll find out a lot more against Georgia. We'll find out a lot more against Kentucky because, it's easy to be aggressive against EIU. It's easy to be aggressive in games where you have the obvious advantage and you have the superior talent. But still, not taking anything away. I liked the game plan overall. I think that, we were aggressive. I thought our coaches kept the pedal to the metal. I thought we didn't let up, and that's what you love to see most. And I thought the biggest thing I took away from Saturday, guys, again, we could talk specifics and stats. Our guys were ready to play. Like, we really did look ready to play. And I don't want to take that for granted because we haven't always looked ready to play. So kudos to our coaching staff on a job well done, seriously. Sean O'Brien, the next 500,000 will come faster now that the wheels are rolling. Yeah, hey, next stop's $1 million. Next stop is $1 million for sure. Let's see. Jay Morris, appreciate the love, man. Thank you. Justin Kyle says, I'm just glad our lives are a whole different energy, not about bitching and crying about how bad our last coaching staff. Just feels nice. Even if we lose, I think our program will definitely turn the corner with Beamer. I agree. I think we all agree. Tyler Knoll says, to all the Luke Doty haters out there, you're not an Elite 11 quarterback or a top 100 national recruit if you cannot throw the ball. And this is, by the way, T-Knoll 28, my bad, man. I keep going back and forth between the TDC Questions channel and the chat. So my apologies if I'm missing you on one side or the other, but thank you for putting the comment in both. Let's see. Again, getting back to it. He says, you're not an Elite 11 quarterback or a top 100 national recruit if you cannot throw the ball. I want you and whoever else thinks he can't throw, which I think he can throw, by the way, T-Knoll 28. I want to say that. But he says, I want you and whoever else thinks he can't throw to keep the same energy when he goes out and makes all the throws. Please don't say he's your guy. Zeb is Colin Hill 2.0, just a bit more mobile. He wouldn't have been named QB1 out of spring practice if he wasn't head and shoulders above everyone else at quarterback on the roster, speaking of Doty. If you don't trust in Beamer, then find someone else to pull for. Sad has compared Luke to Breeze. He surely wouldn't do that if he couldn't throw the football. Not going to sit here and argue anymore. Let the coaches who get paid millions coach and make the decisions and support them, or don't. Damn. Give a round of applause for T-Knoll 28. How about that? Just letting everybody have it on a Wednesday. Daddy O, at what point did Muschamp actually lose his team? Tough to say. I mean, I don't know, man. I guess some point last season. I don't know. Josh Smith, if blank doesn't play well, we will lose the game. If I had to pick one, if blank doesn't play well, we will lose the game. Offensive line. I almost said quarterback. I think quarterback play is important, but you know what, man? If the offensive line doesn't play well, doesn't matter who plays well. Bottom line. If we can't block on the offensive line, can't open holes, can't protect whoever's back there under center, I don't think it matters. So the offensive line's got to step up and play well. They got to play well. Chase Minnick, if you could only choose one running back from Harris, Lloyd, or White, who do you got this week? Ooh, that's tough. I mean, how you going to do that to me? God, you got to show Quan White some love, but I got to go with Marshawn Lloyd. Just because Harris has not played yet. I don't know, man. I think Kevin Harris is going to have a really good game. I think Kevin Harris is going to I think he's going to play his tail off. I really do. Jonathan Evans says, I really think Georgia would light up Zeb. Look what happened to Clemson on Saturday. Yeah, I agree with you. I actually do agree with you 110%. Justin Kyle, I think to be more ballsy like that with my wife. Yeah, right. Y'all wouldn't see me anymore. Justin Kyle is on one today. Says, I need to be more ballsy with my wife. Yeah, damn right. Attaboy. Justin Kyle is on one today. Bush lattes must be flowing. Sean O'Brien, the last time we were ranked was after the Coastal game in 2018, correct? Yes, I believe that was the last time. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. Last-minute questions, comments, and calls. Last-minute questions, comments, and calls. Again, literally right after this, I'll be recording tomorrow's show as we talk East Carolina, full game preview and breakdown, top storylines, keys to the game, key matchups, everything you need to know about ECU and getting you ready for kickoff as the Gamecocks again. This is a pivotal game, guys. This is a pivotal game. There's no other way to put it. It's a pivotal game. Is this a game where win or lose, it dictates the future of the Shane Beamer era? No. But as I said all preseason, it's a game that in the scope of the 2021 season alone, you have to win this football game to get to a bowl game, in my opinion. You just have to. I don't see a scenario where South Carolina loses this football game and goes bowling this winter. I just don't see it. So For the scope of this season, it's a huge game. It's a huge game. Let's see. JB says, well, Birch finally busted out. Any shot we see him in goal line package on offense? I don't think so, man. We've got options on offense. I think they're going to let Birch focus on defense. Josh Smith, if we played ECU 100 times, how many times do you think we'd win? That's a great question. It's hard to answer before we even play the first time. You'd like to think South Carolina would win the majority of those matchups, certainly, but we got to see what happens on Saturday, man. Justin, Kyle, Chris, changing the tone. I think Shi Smith's going to be a monster in the league. I've stacked up on rookie auto cards of him. He was the highest rated highest wide receiver in the preseason. Yeah, dude, Shi Smith's going to have a hell of a year. No question. NFL getting going this weekend, right? Sunday. Opening day for the NFL. Allen says another shutout coming this week against East Carolina. Boy, I would love to see that. Wouldn't that be something? Back-to-back shutouts to start the season off. Daddy-O, this is a must-win for numerous factors, recruiting, fans, etc. And you bring up a great point, Daddy-O, for the fans. You bring up a great point because fairly or unfairly, if you lose, just hypothetically, if you lose this football game, fairly or unfairly, all of those positive emotions and that positive energy and positive momentum and fans having all these fuzzy, warm feelings inside, all of that's gone if you lose to East Carolina. And reality will hit Gamecock fans like a ton of bricks very, very quickly. So the person that said South Carolina would fire Beamer if they lose to ECU is a complete slapdick. He's an idiot. Early candidate for slapdick of the weekend, no question. And, dude, it's one thing to hear a rumor from a cocky insider, but to be the ECU guy that posts it, you're just as much of a slapdick, if not more, than the original slapdick who made the rumor. So both of them can be slapdicks together. Whatever. It is what it is. Justin Kyle, if we shut out ECU, Georgia will be on notice. Man, let's just take care of ECU first. Let's just go win first. Sean O'Brien, most concerned about the doom and gloomers sucking away from any positivity within the culture if we lose. Again, like you said, fair or unfair, you know that'll happen. And I don't, I look at it almost more so as if that were to happen, it's going to put things in perspective very, very quickly. Like what I and some others have been saying that, hey guys, 6-6 will be a great year. We have some deficiencies. 5-7 is more likely than 7-5, and it'll put a lot of the 8-4 folks. It'll give them a lot of perspective, just how far we had to go. But hey, that's all hypothetical. The great news is we don't live in the world of hypotheticals, and South Carolina's going to go play the game this Saturday, and they'll determine it on the field. So, and it's a game, like I said, as a Gamecock fan, you should expect to win. I think it's a game you should expect to win. South Carolina should win the football game. You are more talented top to bottom. You have recruited better. You are the University of South Carolina. You shouldn't lose to East Carolina. But you can. If you don't go take care of your business, you can. And on the road, tricky game. It's like their Super Bowl. Just saying. So, hey, that's going to do it all for today's Daily Crow, folks. Thank you so much. Wednesday, September the 8th, another successful Daily Crow in the books. Like I said, go check out the podcast this morning if you have not done so. Episode 492 that dropped this morning, talking Shane Beamer's Tuesday presser. Also, of course, gambling. Best bet for South Carolina ECU and SEC gambling picks for week 2 as we look to stay hot. Again, folks, quick reminder, tonight, live at Tin Roof, 5 to 7, come on out. 50-cent wings, $3 drafts all night long. Going to be one hell of a time. But again, folks, as always, I'm Chris Phillips of the Daily Crow. Appreciate you all tuning in, and we will talk